What is grappling? It's a question that's commonly asked by just about everybody who does not do it. Then when you explain that it's a martial art form, they for some reason imagine a grappling hook as your weapon of choice. Or you can describe it as it's like wrestling, but everybody pictures this for some reason. Really, grappling started as early back as the samurai and learning how to control opponents on the ground using joint locks, chokes, and restraints. However, as war evolved, so did the means by which they fought it. And as time drew on, grappling became a less effective killing method for the samurai. Japanese jiu-jitsu continued the legacy of ground fighting that the samurai had begun with Japanese jiu-jitsu, the gentle art, and for years this was the predominant combat style of the Japanese police force. Later came a student of Japanese jiu-jitsu by the name of Kano. He evolved the art into a sport of judo. Shortly thereafter, a student of Kano's named Maeda, who was a black belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu as well, took the sport over to Brazil and taught it to the Gracie family. Helio Gracie was the youngest son of Charles Gracie. Helio and Charles Jr. were the first students of Miyata to learn this hybrid between the sport of judo and Japanese jiu-jitsu. Helio and Charles took what they learned from Maeda and evolved a sport of Gracie jiu-jitsu, which used more leverage and structure than brute force and strength against your opponent. Helio and his sons are more or less the royal family of jiu-jitsu as most people know it today. To prove the effectiveness of this new martial art, the Gracie family founded the UFC, and for years they dominated the fights within. However, grappling would be incomplete without the aggressive style brought into it by wrestling. Wrestling mostly hails from Greek and Roman culture. However, wrestling can be found in ancient cultures from all over the world and creates one of the most dominating and aggressive styles for taking an opponent down into the realm of ground fighting or grappling and jiu-jitsu. So, what is grappling without going through all of that? While they stare at you blankly, imagining Hulk Hogan swinging a grappling hook at you, tell them this. Grappling is a lot like collegiate wrestling. Except, I can break your arm. Or choke you to sleep if you refuse to give up.